Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Sunny Larue, the professional martini drinking blogger, back again with another episode. And we're going to talk about this hot topic of Eben, New York hair care products and how it markets to a certain group, but don't have that representation in their office. But before we get into it, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to click that notification bell so you won't miss out on breaking news, updates, recaps, lives, and more. It is the freest and easiest way to support the channel. And if you like to follow me on social media, I'm on all platforms. My handle's at Sunny Larue17 or simply Google Sunny Larue17. All of my social media links, as well as my website and podcast links, will populate. You can follow me through those means. Now, let's start the countdown and then we'll have the conversation.
Person in corporate. Honestly, y'all, it took a lot out of me to even make this video. It's been 3 months since I left the job. They actually fired me. Wrongful termination, but we'll get to that. It has just been a very long journey. Ebin, New York is a very popular beauty brand. They are very known for their 24-hour edge controls. I'll put it right here. And they're also very known for their wig sprays. So hairstylists, listen up, because a lot of you, even if you're not a hairstylist, if you're a black woman, black people in general, listen up, because I was treated so horribly, guys. Like, I would go to the bathroom every day at work and cry. It was to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore. That's how bad it was. So I initially seen a job posting on LinkedIn for being their content creator, basically like the face of the brand. Just do like a quick couple of videos for them. So the HR lady, the company's very small. If that, like, the company is like 80 people or whatever. So there was only one HR person at the time. And this lady, she reached out to me on LinkedIn and she was like, oh, can you come in for an interview? Like, we would love to talk to you. So I'm like, yeah, sure. So I go in there and she's just like telling me all about the brand. And I realized that she kept saying like, oh, we're trying to make it more diverse in the office. We're trying to make it, she just kept saying that. We're just trying to make it more diverse in the office. So I'm just looking around and I'm like, well, there are a lot of Korean people. How are you guys doing this? Like, what do you mean? There's no black people at all? So she's showing me like, oh, they have like in-house beauty hairstylers, nail techs, lash techs, whatever, and they test out the products. They're not on a corporate side though. I didn't know this. I'm just thinking like, oh, okay, so I see some black women in the office, you know, cool. So I'm looking around, it's just nothing but Korean people. That still didn't bother me because I still seen like some black women in the office. So I'm like, cool, it doesn't matter. So she seen my resume and she was like, how do you feel about actually working full-time as a marketer, social media marketer? And I'm just like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I could come into the office every day and, you know, do marketing. That's what I went to school for, communications and marketing. So I took on a job. And the first day that I went to work, they was just basically showing me how to do stuff, what websites they use and things like that. So I'm already ready to make my first video, post it on TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Wow. I edited this video and I posted it right before I left. And I noticed that it was going viral within 3 hours. Like, as soon as I posted it, it was going up. So I'm like, I'm getting excited because I'm like, oh, this is my first day and I'm already, you know, showing off, like doing my job. And I was looking at it all night. That's how excited I was. I kept scrolling, going on their page and looking at the video, like I'm doing my big one. It was around 8 p.m. that I realized that the video was deleted. So I'm like, what's going on? I was reading the comments the whole time, y'all. Everyone was laughing at the video. They were saying whoever's on the marketing team needs a raise. They were saying all these positive things, right? So I go into work the next morning, and as I'm walking to my desk, I have to pass my supervisor's desk, and I have to pass another coworker that thought she was my supervisor. Let's get into that. We could get into that, but I'm gonna just keep going. So I'm going to my desk, and I see that my coworker is showing my supervisor the video that I posted on TikTok from the account or whatever. So I'm like, they're just like literally looking at it or whatever, like reading the comments. And I'm like, hey, good morning. Yeah, why did the video delete? And all I know is that they looked at me and they were just like, there was too many negative comments. So then I go on the account and I, look at the comments. I'm like, there's no negative comments. Someone was saying like, oh, the person that posted it, like the marketing team, the company better be black owned or something like that, because the video was funny. It was about SZA, I think it was. Like, it was about a black person doing a wig. It was some creative thing that I did. It was just all jokes, and it was good for marketing. So I was like, there's no negative comments here. And I felt some type of way, because I'm like, it was my first day. I made a video go viral. Y'all needed help going viral and keep marketing these products and stuff, and I'm over here doing it on the first day, and y'all trying to figure out one little thing. Y'all see one little comment that says something a little negative to y'all, and y'all want to delete it. That's not how this works. Like, yeah, we got to get some tough skin around here if y'all want to keep going up in this company. So I let that slide. But ever since that day, I realized like everyone was just in competition with me. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was just like they were no longer trying to teach me anything. They were no longer First of all, I realized, let me just backtrack. Ever since that day, they had started speaking Korean the whole time in the office, in the marketing room. Korean. I had no conversation with them. They would speak to me whenever they told me to just do something. They would have meetings in full-blown Korean. Even the CEO would come in and speak in Korean. And nobody thought to even, like, look and be like, oh, let's just speak in English for now. We do have a black lady here that's just not Korean, and she doesn't know anything that we're saying. So I just started feeling uncomfortable. I'm like, there's no way that, everybody was speaking English in the beginning, the first day that I was there, being very nice. And now all of a sudden, everyone's just speaking Korean the whole time, giggling, looking at me, laughing about things. And I have no idea what anyone is saying. So,
well, guys, that's on TikTok. I'll leave a link to her because it's a 4-part video. That's part 1, obviously. But I wanted to have the conversation just to give you guys an idea of what was trending, not only over there on TikTok, but here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all of it. So there's a lot to digest with that. And honestly, I cannot believe we're still having this conversation. I still cannot believe we are having the conversation in 2024. But I want to ask you guys out there, have you ever been in the situation where you've been at a company, you're hired for your expertise, you go in and you find out that you're the only ethnic person within this company? I can relate to her. It's very triggering. Most of the companies that I've worked for, I've been the only Black person within the whole building at times, except for one job. But for the most part, yeah, it's the feeling of isolation. It's the feeling like you did something wrong. Not having the communication, not having the guidance. But the reason why I wanted to have this conversation with you guys is because as I was watching this 4-part TikTok video, something struck me very like it struck me like an anvil hitting me over the head. Now, the video that she was referring to did go viral. It had, I don't know, almost a million views at one point. Uh, but in the comments section, a lot of the people who view the video was asking if Ebin New York is Black owned because most of the products that Ebin has, which is edge control, you glue down your hair and all that kind of stuff, is marketed to the African American community. Okay. And based on what was being shown as a marketed piece, a lot of Black people get that pretty much commercial. And so they took that down, they took the video down because of the comment, like, is it Black owned? Here's the thing. I'm trying to word this to where I won't get canceled or in trouble. I'm trying to have the conversation with you, but YouTube kind of makes it very difficult for us to have these hard, harsh conversation. The bottom line is this. When I saw this video, I thought about not only working in situations where you're the only ethnic person in the company, but I also thought about all the times that I would go to, let's say, like a liquor store, to stop off at a liquor store to get water or to get a soda or something like that. I try not to go to liquor stores anymore because I don't like to be followed throughout the store. And back in the early 90s, a young girl in Inglewood, California, lost her life over a bag of chips. The store owner, who was of Asian descent, had a liquor store in a primarily Black and Hispanic community. And the little girl walked into the store, was getting a bag of chips, and she was going to pay for it. And certain circumstances led to her untimely death at the hands of the store owner, because she felt like the girl was going to run out and not pay. Now, that was back in the 90s. 14-year-old girl. Okay. Here it is, 2024, and we're still talking about how Black people are being treated in a work environment. Okay. And when I go to work for a company, I try to do as much research as I can to make sure that there are a lot of diversity within the company. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Most companies have a primarily specific race, and it's not Black. I'm just being honest with you guys. It's not Black. Even here in LA, it's not Black. Which is unfortunate because I'm going to quote one of my friends. All Black people do not tap dance for watermelon. Okay. All of us are not out here to steal your money. We're not out here to vandalize your company. You hire the higher ups, even hired this girl to do a specific job. Okay. She went to school for this. Okay. You're not going to just hire some Joe Smo off the street to do marketing. Because let me tell you something. Okay. Content creating is a very difficult job because you have to wear many, 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 many hats. You have to be producer. You have to be editor. You have to be writer. You have to be show writer. You have to be marketer. You have to know how certain algorithms are within YouTube, within Twitter or X, Facebook, Rumble, Twitch. You have to be technically smart, right? You have to know your software. You have to know a lot of things. And most people, you see like these big big YouTube channels like Mr. Beast and Marquez Brown and Mr. Who's the Boss, who have tens and millions of subscribers. Do you really think that that happened overnight? No. They've been doing it for years. And when I mean years, Mr. Who's the Beast, Aaron, congratulations on your wedding. Just got married. He started this when he was young. Marquez started this when he was a teenager. So they've been doing these things. Mr. Beast's been doing this for a long time. And I'm talking about years. I'm not talking about 2, 3 years. I'm talking about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Back when YouTube was just nothing but a platform and nobody knew what to do with it. Okay? It's a lot to go into it. It's not, and most YouTube content creators that you guys watch are small channels and don't make any money. In fact, you're losing money because you're putting money into programming and all these other things and making sure your videos and your lives are perfect, your sound and all that kind of stuff. I have yet to see any money from YouTube. I don't meet the criteria. But we do it because we love what we do. All right. So with that being said, you have to take all that into consideration and what this young woman was going through. The editing and doing all, the marketing and trying to get the product out there. That is a product that is predominantly aimed at the African American community. And I'm saying this for a specific reason, because in what you guys just saw in the video, she said they took down that video that went viral on TikTok because a lot of the people who are watching this was asking, is this a Black-owned business? Which is a legit question. If you're marketing to a specific group, in this case, Black, the Black community, with your hair care products, it's a fair question. I don't want to be buying something from a corporation or a company that does not have not one representation of a Black person there, one representation of a Hispanic, one representation of Muslim. I like to buy from companies who are multi-diverse. Okay? This company isn't. Apparently. Allegedly. So she goes on in her 4-part series over on TikTok. And again, I'll leave a link in the description box you guys can check out and talk about how she was being treated as an employee. And it's very triggering. And I have to warn you guys, it is very triggering. Again, it's kind of hard to understand if you're never been in that situation. And the only way I can explain it to you is if you walk into a liquor store, and if you're Hispanic, you're Muslim, and you're walking into that liquor store in your community, and the liquor store owner is Asian, and they follow you around the store to make sure you're not stealing that bag of chips. That's how it is. That's how it feels. Like you're always on watch. And not only that you have to prove that you are capable of doing the job that you're hired to do, but you have to go above and beyond, because now she got the the CEO of the company watching her. And when she even mentions in one of the videos, I think it was part 2, that they have to report on what they do, their activities during the day, which is, been at jobs that you have to do that. You have to break down what, write a list of what it is that you're going to be working on for the day. And they put bullet points like, okay, making phone calls for this, doing the report for this. Her particular situation, she had to be detailed. She had to put in for every minute that she was working, how long it took her to edit a video, which, just the ins and outs of that, that is stressful. That is stressful. And to be in a arena where no one looks like you, no one talks like you, all eyes are on you, and now you got to prove what you're doing is legit. That's crazy to me. It's insanity. And if you've never been in that position, goop for you, in the words of Beetlejuice. Goop for you. Thank God you don't have to be in that position. But as a Black woman, it's not fun. And I can sit here and tell you about my own experience. I'm not going to get into it because, frankly, I don't want to relive that. I don't want to relive the feeling of isolation and just being so frustrated that, there's nobody on your side. There's no one you can turn to. This girl is like in a water full of sharks, and she's, Nemo, trying to navigate these waters, excited that she got a job or a career. She's working in the career that she went to school for. Excited. And in most cases in the Black American community, she's probably the only one in her family that ever went to college and graduated college. My words, my thoughts. But nonetheless, excited that she's in this arena and given this chance. And let me tell you something about the Black experience. I'm going to be honest with you. For us in our community, my generation was raised by baby boomers and the older generation from World War II, where school education is the utmost important thing. You cannot not know a lot. The more you know, the better off you will be, the better job positions you will have. My mom was a nurse and she was a maintenance supervisor. She didn't want none of her kids doing the things that she did, because my mom did graduate high school. She did go to some college, but she wasn't given the opportunities that I was given. She wasn't given the opportunities that my brothers was given. She wasn't given the opportunities that my sisters were given. She didn't want us to go through the struggles that she had to go through. That was present in our lives, okay? We were taught that you don't speak improper when you're in the workplace. You are professional. You speak professionally. You're educated. You act educated. Because when people are looking at you, they're not just looking at you. They're not just looking at me, mom. They're looking at the whole Black race that is on your shoulders right now. Because if you screw up, the whole race is going to pay. And I grew up in the time where affirmative action was the thing. And that's how I got many of my jobs. Not because I'm capable or incapable of doing the job. I was the token Black. And I got the job because they needed the quota. So seeing this girl go through this stuff was heartbreaking for me. Truly, it's sincerely heartbreaking. I'm telling you, it's triggering. I'm getting ready to cry and I shouldn't. To experience being, having you're in the United States. We're in America. This country allows you to certain freedoms that you can speak and express how you feel and however you want in any way. But that's not for the Black experience. It's not. And so you're in a company that's speaking Korean. And you're like, what is this? You want to be a part of a team. You want to work and show your proof, show your worth. And a lot of people don't understand that about African Americans. Uh, how when we work, and it's not about just, oh, let's just get through this. No, we have to prove, not only because we're Black, we can do the job. We have to prove that we are capable of doing the job, because all eyes are on us. And like I said before, we're carrying a group of we're carrying our race on our shoulder. We want to show that we are productive citizens. We're not just what people project on TV. And it pisses me off that in this day and age, in 2024, that you can speak whatever language you want. You can actually go to any job, whether it's McDonald's, Wendy's, in this case, even New York, any job here in the United States, and speak whatever language you want. And not get in trouble for it. And other people around you don't speak your language. And you're at this job and you're trying to do your job. You're trying to prove that you hire the right person. It's just it just drives me crazy, because you can't do that over in Mexico. You can't do that in France. You can't do none of you really think that you can go over to Europe and have a predominantly Korean company that sells to a predominantly Black race, and then hire one Black person and then put her through all this, and you can get away with that? You can't even do that up in Canada. I don't understand why we are having this issue in this day and age. But again, I don't want to get too preachy, because I know you guys don't. I'm just presenting this to you. I'm sure if you experience anything like this, we can have the conversation in the conversation box. Just please be respectful. And, I'll leave a link to her TikTok. You can watch all 4 parts in depth. We can have the conversation. With that, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you for joining me on this live. And I'm curious. Let's talk about the conversation. Let's have it. All right. With that, I have more stories to bring to you. So, you know what, guys? I got a couple of stories that I think you guys are going to like. I'm going to sign off now. Thank you for watching. I'm Sunny Larue, the professional martini drinking blogger. And I will see you on the next one. Take care and be nice and be kind out there.